Hey guys, my name is Ryan Bant. I'm a coach and a teacher at Parkway Central High School. And I watched the videos, and coming from a male perspective, it's always a little different when when you look at that and you can observe, you can somewhat be in that world, but at the same time, being a man, I always come at it from a different position, and it's somewhat unfair sometimes for me to have these conversations. So this will be a bit of a challenge for me throughout this semester, and I'll do my best to keep myself from saying anything that would be offensive or off color or anything of that nature. However, I do coach girls and pretty much exclusively coach girls and have been coaching um, girl athletes since 2003. And one of the things that really touched me when I watch a lot of these commercials, in fact, the one Like a Girl, actually, when it came out, the advertisement campaign came out on the Super Bowl. I, you know, cried a ton because having a daughter, and at that time just a couple years old, and we've been blessed to have another daughter. It's a very different world than what I grew up in and being a boy. And hearing those type of things, and being someone who myself was picked on and abused by bullies, I look at that as, with a negative connotation, um, to be pretty offensive. And so one of the things when I first got an opportunity to coach at Parkway Central, I knew the girls track position was opening up in the spring of 2003. And one of the things that I wanted to do at that school was change the culture of what it meant to be a female athlete. And I always felt that, whether this is fair of my judgment or not, I always felt like the girls were treated as second class citizens when it came to athletics. There was a lot of emphasis on boys sports and track and field, football and basketball. But girls sports were always an afterthought, and we had some success in our high school program, mostly in the sports which we would probably designate as country club sports like tennis and golf. But and swimming. We had a Parkway Swim Club, and we were one of the few schools at the time that actually had a swim team back in the '80s, and we won one of the state championships where like Parkway West went on like a string of like 15 years in a row. But I always felt like there was more, and I specifically remember different athletes and one girl in particular who was the fastest girl I'd ever seen. And the old story of the girl who could always beat the boys and how impressive that was. And I always felt bad that that young lady never really got an opportunity to be her full self as an athlete. And I felt like if there was anything that I could do, I wanted to change the culture at our school, that it was acceptable to be powerful and to be strong and to be a woman and to sweat and to lift weights and to struggle and to rise up over that and to do things that get you to be gritty. And that was a challenge, because a lot of other people in the building were uncomfortable with my enthusiasm and my passion. And especially early on, it was such a game changer for the school that a lot of the athletes didn't really quite know what to make of those expectations and the attitudes and things like that. And by no means was I perfect. Out of the gate, I made a lot of mistakes, and I think back, and I wish I could have some of those seasons back, knowing what I know now, and not so much from the X's and O's or the strategy or the training methods or the periodization or philosophy of how you do the technical aspects of the event, but more from the sports psychology standpoint. How do you talk to an athlete? And not so much if they're a boy or a girl, but just learning their personality of how they receive that information, how they process information. Are they visual? Do they learn by feel? Are they auditory learners? And kind of figuring out, narrowing down different archetypes within just athletics, not necessarily gender or sex. Um, and understanding, I don't want to say the baggage that someone comes with, but understanding what someone's experience is before you open your mouth and start to talk to them. And so for me, I always wanted our girls team at Parkway Central to be the very, very best program it could possibly be. And, I have to say, when you say run like a girl at Parkway Central, that means you're going to be a winner. Run like a girl, jump like a girl, hurdle like a girl means, and if it's at Parkway Central, it means you're going to be running fast, you're going to be setting PRs, you're going to go to college. and continue to be an athlete and pursue athletics and live a healthy lifestyle. And I hope that I can live that more thoroughly every day and continue to keep dialing in the methods that help me to achieve those things for my kids. So I'm looking very much forward to these continued conversations as the semester continues. Thanks, guys.